בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. השיעור יהיה לעילוי נשמת משה בן יעקב נחום, נשמתו תהיה צרורה בצור החיים. So, cruelty to animal. Anyone remember where is the source? I'm going to bring today 3 sources. There's many more, but the main source that I'm going to bring is from Sefer Shmot, Parashat Mishpatim, in chapter 23, verse 5. The Torah teaches something very important. And the Torah says like this, כי תראה חמור שונאך רובץ תחת מסעו וחדלת מעזוב לו. In English.
English.
Yeah.
If you see the donkey of someone you hate crouching under its burden, would you refrain from helping him? And you shall help repeatedly with him.
So we see from here that this is the first source, and by the way, that's the main source that Hazal, our sages, refer to cruelty to animals. I'm going to bring another 2, and both of them from Sefer Dvarim, in Parashat Ki Tetzeh, in chapter 26, verse 22, verse 6, the Torah tells us, כי יקרא כן ציפור לפניך בדרך, and then the Torah continue, והאם רובצת על האפרוחים או על הביצים, לא תיקח את האם על הבנים. And the key word, לא תיקח את האם על הבנים.
If a bird's nest happens to be before you on the road, or any tree or on the ground, young birds or eggs, and the mother is roosting on the young birds or the eggs, you shall not take the mother with the young.
You should not take the mother with the young. That means if you want to take the mother to share her, you're not allowed to take the mother with the eggs together. You're obligated to release the mother, then you can take the eggs. That's mitzvah shiluach hakel. Later on, the Torah tells us in verse 10 in the same chapter something very interesting. לא תחרוש שור בחמור יחדיו.
You should not plow with an ox and a donkey together.
You should not plow the ground with the ox and a donkey together. So from here, Zeev, you look a bit, it looks strange, huh?
I'm wondering why.
Why? You're wondering why. Let's see why. So, first of all, before we explain, before we go to all the explanation, we have to go now to the oral Torah, because the oral Torah explains the written Torah. So in the Gemara Masechet Brachot, page Daf Mem Amud Aleph, that means page 40, folio 1, Hazal tell us something very important. Listen to that. Asur lo la'adam לשבת ולאכול. A person forbidden to sit and to eat. לפני שנתן אוכל לבהמתו. That means before he feed his animal. That means if a person have an animal at home, make no difference what kind of animal, kosher, non-kosher animal, obligated to feed the animal before he sits and eat. We'll see what the Ari HaKadosh say about it. Akon here. I say kosher animal and non-kosher animal. Kosher animal, did you see pet? Yeah, show me. Which pet you know is a kosher animal? I didn't know that dog is kosher. Especially I say, huh?
A chicken.
Chicken is a pet. It depends to who. To some, yes. If you're grown up, if you live in a field. Okay. So it doesn't make a difference if it's a pet, if it's an ox, it's an animal. It doesn't make a difference. Any animal that you have in your belonging, make no difference what is it. You obligated to feed it before you sit and eat. We'll bring to source to that also and why. I would like to go to a Gemara in Baba Metzia in page Pei Hey Amud Aleph, that means 85 folio 1. There is a very important and very famous story regarding Rabbi. Rabbi is Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. And the Gemara in Baba Metzia tell us a very important story that from it we can learn a lot regarding cruelty to animals and how much we have to be careful. And the Gemara tell us that Rabbi one day was in his house and a lamb managed to escape from the abattoir and ran to Rabbi's house and got underneath his coat or underneath his cape, whatever you want to call it, and tried to hide. Because the people was running after him, chasing after him. So he gone to find a shelter underneath the cape, underneath the coat of Rabbi. When Rabbi saw that, he realized what's happened. So he said to the lamb, and that's the wonder that I want to understand. Listen what he said to him. Rabbi HaKadosh said to Egel, to that calf, said to him, Lech lecha, ki lekach notzarta. Rabbi spoke to him. And I wonder, Hazal said that he said to him, go, that's what you've been created for. That means that you've been created to be slaughtered, you know. Human beings need to eat, that's what you've been created for. But I want to understand, how is that, that's the question that I have, how is that lamb understand what Rabbi tried to tell him? We know that animal doesn't understand our language. But obviously Rabbi was on a different level that he managed to even penetrate to that kind of a lamb. But Hazal said that from that moment that he said to the lamb, go, that's what you've been created, the lamb understand that and left Rabbi's house and allowed, didn't run away. When the people come from the abattoir, they took him to the abattoir and he got slaughtered. Hazal said from that moment, Rabotai, from that specific moment, pain and sorrow come on Rabbi, pain and agonies. Rabbi, from that moment, have 13 years of gum infection and kidney stone he suffered from. For 13 years, 1-3. Just remember, it was not in that time, lo alenu, no doctor that can operate. He suffered from kidney stone and from gum infection. Hazal say, very important, that those suffering disappear in 1 second. How did they disappear? The Gemara continue and tell us a story that one day Rabbi was at home and his servant found that there is little baby mouse at home. And she wanted to pick them up and throw them out. Rabbi said to her, you know, it's very, I feel sorry for you to do that. Don't do that. And she said, why? Rabbi said to her, you know, when the mother comes and she's not going to find those little babies, she's going to have a lot of grief, a lot of pain. Leave them. Let the mother come and she'll take them. And Hazal say, like this, B'ma'aseh ba'u u'b'ma'aseh alchu. That means with the act, the agony came, and with the act, the agony disappeared. By that Rabbi didn't have enough compassion, enough mercy towards that little lamb, pain came on him. When Rabbi have the compassion and a mercy towards those little baby, rat or whatever you want to call them, mouse, Hazal said the pain disappeared. Now we have to understand that this is on a different level. Rabbi, he wrote the Torah Shebe'al Peh, the Mishnayot. We have to understand. So he been judged according to his higher level. We don't understand. That's not for us to understand. But it came to teach us something very important. If Rabbi been judged so harshly, how much us, as normal human being, when it's come to cruelty towards animal, we have to be careful. And not for nothing the Torah tells us that, number one, you're not allowed to sit and to have a meal before you feed your own animal. Number two, the Torah tells us that we're not allowed to take the mother and the baby chicks together. And number three, not to plow the ground with the ox and a donkey. How dangerous is it? So we learn from here, number one, that the pain can come and the grief can come to those animals, not only by that people think, if I kick the animal or I hit the animal. No, even by not looking after them properly, There's a problem with that. Not only that, now I'm going to bring some halachot. Yes?
Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
It might sound trivial.
Sure, Brian.
What is the difference between the mother mouse coming back to find her babies are gone and causing her pain, then the bird that she chased away from the cage coming back and finding that her eggs are gone?
I'll tell you what's the difference. The difference is there is mitzvah shiluach haken. We are commanding to send the mother. Why do you send the mother? The mitzvah shiluach haken, it's not really belong to that show, but I'll explain to you. Mitzvah shiluach haken, the mother, okay, is a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The baby chicks is the Jewish people. You understand the analogy? HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands us that to remind us that whenever we send the mother away, to remind them that he sent us to exile and he destroyed Bet HaMikdash. That means that we are considered Knesset Israel like the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded us to send the bird, the mother, away, is to remind HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we lost, that he have to gather us together and bring us, Be'ezrat Hashem, and build Bet HaMikdash. You follow? That's the difference. Okay, so let's go back. Hazal tell us something very important. Hazal tell us, and that's brought, by the way, Rabotai Lehalacha in the Shulchan Aruch, in Or HaHaim, Siman Shin Hei, that means 305, Sa'if Kaf, that means verse 20. Hazal say, regarding milking the cow on Shabbat, because we know that you're not allowed to milk the cow on Shabbat. It's a negative command. But Hazal allowed us to do that. You know why? Because there is pain and agony to the cow. Hazal allowed us to do that by telling a Gentile to milk the milk from the cow, that she's not going to suffer. Obviously, the milk on Shabbat, we're not allowed to use it. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not the issue. The issue is that, although it's a negative command from the Torah tells us, although it's a prohibition, you're allowed to do it, not to cause pain and agony to the cow. Not only that, Hazal tell us something very important. Hazal tell us that if we have a cage, where's Joe? Joe, you asked me about the pet. Yeah. The pet. If you have a cage and you have there birds, you have there in a cage, you have a parrot, whatever you have in a cage, or aquarium, and it's hot, and that cage been left in the sun, and you know that the sun causing harm to the animal inside the cage, if it's a bird, a parrot, whatever there is in a cage, you're allowed to move the cage, because it's muktzah, you're not allowed to move. Also, you're allowed to move it. Why? Because the animal inside the cage suffering. Pascal Le'alacha, by the way, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef wrote it Le'alacha in Sefer Yabi'a Omer, Helek Hei Or Haim Siman Kavav, and also Shabbat K'ilchata, the book Shabbat K'ilchata, and Helek Aleph in the first edition, the first book, chapter 27, if you want to look to it, verse 30. That means that if a person have a cage in his house, and he forgot, and he left the cage with the bird, and he didn't move it from the sun, he left it by the sun, and there is a bird inside. Obviously, if there's nothing inside the cage, we're not moving it, obviously. Only if you have a bird or other animal that can be suffered, if it's a monkey, whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference, what is it? Not to cause a pain to that animal inside the cage, you're allowed to move the cage from the sun to the shadow. Other thing, and that's many people don't understand that, and here is a prohibition, a bullfighting. We're not allowed to watch bullfighting. People will ask, what am I doing? I'm not doing nothing, I'm just watching, nachon? So this Shala brought to Rav Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik Vekadosh Livracha. And he wrote in Yehveh Dat, in his book Yehveh Dat, in Helek Gimel, that means chapter 3, Siman 67, Samech Vav, that the person that watch bullfighting, that go and watch bullfighting, like they have in Spain, Mesayea Bidei Ovre Avera. That means that he's supporting and helping people that do in Averot. By that you're giving money, by that you're going and you're watching it, even if you're not giving only money, you're supporting them. Why? Because bullfighting, there is cruelty. We know that the chokhmah of the bullfighting, it's not to kill the bull immediately. They're actually torturing him. Every little second they put a different needle on him until he collapses. So lehalacha bin pasken, Rabotai, that to go and to watch bullfighting, it's a prohibition from the Torah. Yes. I can't hear.
Isn't rugby also? Rugby is like damaging the body. You shouldn't watch rugby.
I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing? I'm not laughing on your question. I agree with you. Brendan, I'm not laughing on your question. I love it. You're not allowed to watch none of that. Hazal say you're not allowed to watch that. But here, this is considered מסייע בידי עובדי עבירה זרה. מה זה מסייע בידי עוברי עבירה? Sorry. לא עבודה זרה. עושה עבודה זרה, sorry. עוברי עבירה. That you actually supporting those people that cause pain and harm to animals.
If you support the bull,
Huh? If you, sorry, I didn't hear.
But to humans,
To human, it's
boxing and
Boxing.
זה בטח שעשו. You know, I don't understand you. רבותיי, wait.
TV watch.
בסדר, but what, one second. The Torah tell us, a person that lift up his hand, just lift up his hand to hit his friend, consider rasha, consider wicked. He didn't hit his friend. Moti, he didn't hit his friend. He just lifting up to hit him, consider a wicked, rasha. למה תכה רעך? That's mean that definitely not human being. If animal, קל וחומר human being. That's that you go and you support people fighting, that's obviously עוברי עבירה. That you're supporting them killing each other. You know that, one second, that's considered cage fighting. You know, there's cage fighting today. I heard about it not long ago. משוגעים, absolutely משוגעים. People go and fight, and they're in a cage, they can't go out, until Imurim. What? What's the Chokhmah? Yeah. Horse racing. Horse racing is a problem, it's a different problem. Why, Matthew? Because you're gambling. You understand? It's the same like the Torah tells us, mafrihei yonim. A person that deal with gambling, not allowed, in no kasher le'edut. That means he's not kosher enough, he can't stand as a witness. You understand? That's the problem there. You follow?
But the riding itself,
Sorry?
the riding itself.
The riding himself is not a problem. Yosef, I tell you why. I know that you're a horse rider and you're an instructor. In olden days, before we have all the vehicle that we have, what did we used to ride? Do you hear me? Do you understand? They used to ride horses.
Everyone had private horse.
Nahon. There's no. Do you understand? So to ride horses, there's no problem with that. As long that you don't hurt him. What I'm saying, you're not allowed to hit him, to run faster. That means by that you're forcing him to run faster than he can, you actually cause them a pain. But to ride a horse, I don't see any problem with that, because that's what used to be. As long that obviously you feed them, you stable them properly. You don't just abuse the animal, you follow. Russell, you asked something, what did you say?
I said if you go watch bullfighting and you support the bull,
If I suppose. I didn't understand.
Chase you out of the arena.
Okay. Before before we're going to move on to the explanation, there is any other question regarding? Sorry, Zev, what did you say? No. You're supporting the bull. I think everyone's supporting the bull there. They want to see a bit of action.
They want to see blood.
They want to see blood. I think that there is a lot of blood in that kind of a sport, if you call it sport, whatever you want to call it, kind of a game. Anyway, so let's continue. So we learn from here that we have to be very, very careful with cruelty to animals. And now I would like to move on and bring few of the achronim. Why we have to be so careful with cruelty to animals? So I'm going to start with Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra, the famous Ibn Ezra. He born in the city of Toledo in Spain 927 years ago. By the way, that's where the Marana Bet Yosef born, in the city of Toledo. The only difference between them, that was close to 400 years, a bit less than 400 years between them. And he explained that the main reason that we're not allowed to plow the ground with an ox and a donkey, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu have a mercy and compassion on a donkey. Why? Because we know that the ox, it's much stronger than a donkey. And it might that the donkey is too slow for the ox. That means that the ox is going to start plowing faster and he's going to go faster. And the donkey actually going to be behind him, going to grab himself. So he's going to force him to do the work harder than he can. You follow? So what does it mean? That it teaches that we're allowed to plow the ground with animal as long that they're equivalent in string. That means if you put 2 oaks or you put 2 donkeys, you're allowed to do it. But if the string between one and the other one is different, that they don't have enough power, we're not allowed to do it. The Rambam, the Nachmanite, yes.
Riding a horse. Can you do this on Shabbos?
To ride a horse on Shabbat? No.
No.
Definitely not. You're not allowed to ride a horse on Shabbat.
Right.
No. It's a prohibition from the Torah. You're not allowed, Hazal tell us. Okay. The Rambam, the Nachmanite, Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman, he born in the city of Catalonia in Spain. The Nachmanite born 822 years ago. And he said that the main reason that the Torah referring to cruelty to animal is to teach us to have compassion and mercy, not only for human being, also for animal. That means to create in us the character trait of compassion and mercy. That's the main reason that there is the negative command of cruelty to animal. Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, he born in Jerusalem 482 years ago. And he says like this, I don't know, we all have obviously pets at home, am I right? Listen what he's saying, we have to be careful. And he said like this, whoever that have a pet, he say haya or behema, shemegadel haya or behema, that means if we call it a kosher animal and a non-kosher animal, what we call it pet, that are referring to non-kosher, but some of you say that there is certain people that have chicken. Whoever have an animal at home, let's call it like this, it's make no difference what is it, if it's a pet or not a pet, have to be very careful that he feed it before he sit and eat. And where's the source to it? The source to it comes from the parsha that we're going to read this Shabbos, in Parashat Ekev, in Sefer Dvarim. In Parashat Ekev, the Torah tells us something very interesting. In chapter 11, verse 16, the Torah tells us, "Venatati esev besadecha livhemtecha, ve'achalta ve'savata." What does it mean? The Torah tells us like this. Let me find 16. Where is it? 16. I shall provide grass in your field for your cattle and you will eat and you will be satisfied. That means that Ari HaKadosh say, from that verse we're learning something very important. That the Torah tells us first, ונתתי עשב בשדך לבהמתך. By that the Torah mentioned the animal before us, and only later on it said there, ואכלת ושבעת, you should eat and you should get satisfied. You obligated, if you have an animal at home, you obligated to feed your animal first, and then you can sit and eat. Like the Gemara Masechet Brachot, you remember. Why is that? Listen what Ari HaKadosh say. Ari HaKadosh say, by that the person sit and eat, before he makes sure that the animal been fed, he draw on himself dinim. What it means, dinim? Attribute of judgment. That if a person have an animal at home, and he didn't make sure if they have water or food, and if they're obligated to eat 3 times a day, he's obligated to make sure that he feed them 3 times a day. If they eat once a day, doesn't make a difference. And he sit and eat before he feed his animal, he draw on himself the attribute of judgment. Lo alenu, haz v'shalom. I would like to end up with a midrash that Avraham Avinu learned, because when Avraham Avinu, after the flood, Avraham Avinu met Noah and his kids. Remember, 10 dorot minoach ועד Avraham. Avraham Avinu, when he met Noah and his kids, he asked them a question. You know what he asked him, the Midrash say? In what merit you survived the flood? What merit? Noah, ish tzaddik tamim haya bedorotav, the Torah tells us. It doesn't say nothing about his family. Nachon? Doesn't say nothing. So we don't know. But we assume that they all was righteous. The Midrash say that Noah and his kids answer Avraham Avinu like this. That in the merit that they feed the animal in the ark, that will help them to survive the flood. That means that they have the compassion and the mercy towards the animal and feeding them in the ark. That's what saved them from the flood, Hazal say. So from here, Rabotai, I would like to summarize that we learn that cruelty to animal, it's a very dangerous thing. Many people hear about it, they think it's a joke, they call it the SPCA or something. The SPCA learn from our Holy Torah. They took it from us, but we move 10 steps ahead. It's not only to look after the animal, it's also to create in us compassion and mercy to be a proper human being. That's what the Torah means. But we have to be careful also with cruelty towards the animal. And how much so human being. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if we should all, you want to ask? Yes. Sorry.
You said that Rabbi was punished because he basically sent the lamb to slaughter. So then why do we eat meat? I mean, why?
Okay.
I mean, surely all the butchers, all of us, we've all been cruel by just having meat.
Haz v'shalom. No, the Torah tells us. No. So I waited for that question. I wasn't sure. But you always, I told you that many times, you always throw a bomb.
The fact is, he was doing what
I tell you what,
normal.
that's what I'm saying. And if you listen what I say, Rabbi being judged according to his level. Nachon, that all the kosher animal being created for us to eat. But Rabbi, when he saw that, Hazal explained, and I saw the commentary, that Rabbi should have a bit more compassion, not to send them away like this. But Rabbi being judged according to his level. We're not on his level. Believe me, if it was any one of us, we wouldn't be judged like this. Rabbi being judged because Rabbi was a Rabbi. To write all the Mishnayot, that's Rabbi. Rabbi should be a bit more compassion, give him a few minutes, let him understand, and later on, because if Rabbi can speak and he can understand, I'm sure that Rabbi can explain to him that he should go. But we don't know Heshbonot Shamayim. That's Heshbonot Shamayim. Yes, Brendan. I can't hear, Brendan. Nachon. Who said that it's allowed? But there is some people already done it. If they're already having it, at least don't leave it in the sun to die. You understand what I'm saying? Easy, you wanted to ask. Yes, Easy.
How about people that go to the game reserve?
Yes. No.
And that's, the biggest thing is if they can see a kill.
No. Wait. You're confusing. Wait. You're confusing two different things. Going to the game reserve, it's a mitzvah. You know that? Rega. Lionel, vachabiki. You know, we say in Yiddish, vachabiki. You know vachabiki? I'll explain. To go to the game reserve and to see the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's a mitzvah. And you know the Torah tells us when you see an elephant, you have to say a brocha. When you see a monkey, you have to say a brocha. משנה הבריות. You know, to see a lion, it's amazing to see what HaKadosh Baruch Hu create. To go to the game reserve, and I don't think it's in a game reserve, I think it's a private lodges that there is, that they go and do private kill. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. Because you don't go and watch the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You go and test how good sniper you are. Nachon? Or you want to eat and to create a nice statue in your house of the bull that you shot. You know, they put it in the front of their house. Mishugay. That's definitely cruelty. But to go and to watch the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's better than that. A kill, you're not allowed. What do you mean a kill? Animal kill another animal. If you watch another animal killing another animal, what did you done by it? That's that I'm watching, I can't do nothing, I didn't pay them. I'm going to see animal. That's that happened, that the leopard or the lioness caught a buck. They caught, what can I do?
Nature, that's what it is.
Sorry? That's exactly nature. I have no influence on it. Imagine you come and say, Dr. Lion, please stop. You're going to be, they're going to say it kadal, you know, before that.
Rabbi, one thing animals don't do, they don't kill unnecessarily like man.
They don't kill if they're not hungry. That's what you're saying.
Unnecessary, they
Yeah.
kill for hunger, but the man kills in the
For pleasure. You understand the difference. So if you go and see a kill in a game reserve, there is no problem with that. Brian, you wanted to say something?
No.
Yes, Zev.
What is animal euthanasia considered? If you've got an animal that is old and sickly, a pet, old and sickly and got all sorts of problems, and you take it to the vet and you say, look, this animal is suffering.
Can we speak about it after? I'll answer you after. So from here we see how much the Torah makpid, strict about cruelty to animal. We have to learn with that. Rabotai, we all have pets at home. We all have different kind of pets, different kind of animal. We have to be very careful that has v'shalom, we're going to cause them pain. When I say pain, not feeding them on the right time, not giving them what they need on the right time, has v'shalom. It's a negative command from the Torah. And be'ezrat Hashem, if we all going to learn from Avraham Avinu, that was Isha Hesed, the man of kindness, the man of mercy, that he asked Noah and his children what was the merit that they survived the flood, and we walk the footsteps of Avraham Avinu, the train. You remember when the Vayarutz el Bakar, that one of the sheep ran away, and he gone to get them. The same like Moshe Rabbeinu, that put him on his shoulder and brought him back because he was thirsty. To learn from that how much mercy we have to have towards animals. Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have mercy on us, kindness on us, and compassion, and will redeem us and send Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mehera b'yameinu, amen, ken yeh ratzon.